Hello and welcome to my tutorial. I am Kartoffel and this is how you make text with a video texture in Blender. So first what you'll want to do is you'll go and you'll delete the default cube, and then you can add text. You're going to want to add text, and if you hit RX90 you can rotate it on the x-axis. And then you'll want to look at it in the viewport to see like how it's aligned, and right now it looks weird. So if you hit the N key and then you go to view, click lock camera to view, and then you can like rotate it however you want. Yeah, that's pretty simple. And then if you go to the text tab, you can change the alignment to the center. Sometimes that's nice. Oops, that was weird. Just like adjust this. This will make it more centered. And then if you go to the geometry tab, you can extrude the text to give it a 3D look like that. And yeah, so that's basically the basics of the font. And then you can edit the text in edit mode and make it say whatever you want. There we go. Yeah. So then, because this font is basic and boring, we can go to this File tab in the Font section and go to get a cool font like this one. Oh wait, no. Actually, this one's cooler. And we can get something like this, actually. Yeah, we'll get a cool font like that. And then you scale it up to however you want. Yeah. So then we're gonna need to make a material for this if we want like the cool material text effect. So for that, we will have to open up a new tab for Blender. We'll choose video editing, and then I will add a clip I recorded earlier. And then, so you can change this however you want. You can adjust, like, this is way too long, obviously. So you can just choose, like, the best parts. You can use the G key, to drag and the clip around however you want it. So I'm just going to trim most of this with, if you hit the K key anywhere on this with this scroll bar, it'll cut the clip into two, and so you can just delete the one you don't want. And then I'm gonna extend this timeline a little bit, and then you can just like choose the best clips. So it's kind of boring, so I can like hit K and then like cut out this part. And yeah. And you can do this with multiple clips too, but just you add in another one. You could just go like, yeah. So yeah, so then you can have multiple, but I'm only going to be using one. Alright, so then we will go to like the output settings, and I will create a new folder called test, and then we can save this here. We want the output to be FFmpeg video, encoding MPEG 4, and then yeah, you can just leave all these settings how they are, and then yeah, just render as an animation. Alright, So once you get done with your video editing, you can go to back to your model, and you can go to Object, Convert to Mesh, because otherwise it'll just look really wacky. And then in edit mode, you'll see that it's like now has actual geometry. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to Material mode right here, then the Materials tab, and you go New, and you'll add a material, and go to Image Texture, and then you'll go to wherever you saved your video, and you'll open that as an image. And it just looks black right now, but you can fix that by going to frames, enter the number of frames for the video, so mine has 725 frames, and select cyclic and auto refresh. And then what you'll see is you can play your video on the text, and it looks really cool. But say you wanted to rotate the text, it would just look wacky. And to fix that, you can what you'll want to do is you'll go to Modifiers, add a modifier called UV Project, choose UV Map, and then Object, Camera, and then you can play your video, and you can rotate the text, and it will look the same, like no matter how you rotate it. So it's kind of cool. So that's the basics of this. But to make it actually look good, we'll want to add, like, we'll want to go to shaded mode, and then you'll see that like it's really dark. So we can go to Materials tab, change emission to image texture, choose the same video you had, and then make the settings all the same, and yeah. Alternatively, you could get rid of the emission, and then you could just add a lamp. Move it around so that you can actually see like the geometry. But there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can like change the color of the lamp, but I just suggest leaving it as white. And you can change the texture of the words by like turning down specular, which I suggest you do, and then like turning up or down roughness. So then when you rotate it, it'll have different lighting. But yeah, it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. And then you can go to shading. You'll see this, and you don't want this nasty gray background. So what you can do is go to this little bubble thing. Wait, I am wrong. You go to the Object tab, hit World, and then delete background. And you can either have it as black, which looks kind of cool, or you can add a fancy HDRI. So we'll search. Wait a minute. Environment. Oops. Environment texture. Plug this into here, into surface, and that looks weird. So then you'll go to Open, then load in any HDRI that you have. So then we'll get something cool like this. So go to Layout, drag this thing over here. So now it's time for keyframes. So what we can do is we select our object. We can hit I, rotation, and that will give it a rotation keyframe. So we can just drag this to like 100 and then hit RZ, and then we can rotate it to about there. Wait, that looks cool. And add another keyframe, and then it'll do this. And that looks kind of neat. So, wait, we can drag this out if you want it to be longer and slower. And yeah, that looks neat. So then you can like end it at like 200 frames. And yeah, that's basically it. So then you'll want to go to this. You'll want to go to render, and what you can do is you do not want to render straight from the viewport because that looks really low quality. What you can do instead is you can go to your output settings, change this to, let's just go to our test folder, add another folder called frames, and then you can export as, you just leave all this the same. Yeah, depending on how compressed you want it. I usually just leave that stuff the same. And yeah, then you just hit render animation and it will render it as images. So we're finished with rendering. You can go to File, New, and then click Video Editing and just save your model. And then you can go to the Add part and hit Image Sequence. And then you go to where all your frames are, and you'll hit. As you can see, it starts with 200 and then it ends with like 1. So you'll hit A and then add the images. But because it imports backwards for some reason, you'll want to go to, like, if 200 is the first frame that shows up, you'll want to go to reverse frames, check that box. Then it will play this as your clip. This, yeah, you can like turn the frame rate up to like 30, it'd be smoother. You right click, hit fade in, and it'll fade this in. It'll start transparent, and you can just like add color like black and just move it right here so it'll look like this. Here's your intro, and once I get to here, you can hit this again and fade out, and it'll do the same thing. We'll just add like another color, same color. Make sure it extends the whole length of the fade. Then just like adjust this to like right there. Actually, I'm just gonna make this an even 200. Perfect. And then it'll look like this. So then when you have this the way you want it, you'll probably want to add music or something. So you can click add and then sound. Then choose something like, choose a song you want. You can import any audio file, like FLAC, WAV, MP3, they all work. So you can like trim it with K, same way as you do with the video. Just like, yeah, fade it in. Oops. And yeah, so basically we're done with this part. Now we just need to render it again. Should render resolution at 100%, so it's really high quality. And then you want to have the output in your folder where you keep this render. Then you'll change this to FFmpeg. You could also change it to AVI, but FFmpeg is what I typically do. And then encoding, Matroska will render it as an MKV, but MPEG-4 or AVI or QuickTime, these all work too. MPEG-4 is what I do though. And then you will hit audio codec, and you do have audio in this one, so you can do MP3. That's like the lowest size, file size. And then yeah, just leave this stuff. Yeah. And just render as an animation again. You know, and you're all set.